live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
A Chicago man is behind bars in Georgia, accused in a murder at Cherryvale Mall. The events that led up to his arrest.
The family of a man involved in a hit and run speaks out. They share a warning and a plea. And
it's been nearly 30 years since A League of Their Own hit movie theaters. The events Rockford has ready to celebrate the anniversary. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
The man accused in a murder at Cherryvale Mall is in police custody.
The Chicago man was caught about a half hour outside Atlanta, Georgia. April 2nd, someone shot a man in the parking lot near Macy's. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Office identified 25-year-old Elijah Lucena as the shooter. An arrest warrant was put out for him on a first-degree murder charge. Last Friday, police in Fairburn, Georgia, pulled over a car and arrested the passenger for giving false names. Fingerprints revealed that man is Lucena. He'll be extradited back to Winnebago County. Rockford police investigate a pair of shootings Tuesday night. The first happened right before 10. A 16-year-old boy walked into a local hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg. He's expected to be okay. Police arrested a 15-year-old boy who accompanied the 16-year-old because investigators say the 15-year-old had a loaded handgun. Officers learned there was a third person who helped get the 16-year-old to the hospital. That person had been reportedly shot as well. He took off before getting help.
A short time later, police were called to Fifth Avenue, just a few blocks from Swedish American Hospital. Officers found a 20-year-old man who'd been shot in the foot. He was taken to the hospital. Police say he did not cooperate with officers and left the hospital. He reportedly went to another hospital, but once again left when officers tried to talk to him.
Just over an hour later, police responded to a call of a 15-year-old shot. This happened around 11:30 on Willow Grove Street. That's near Newburgh and Mulford. Officers found the teen there, shot in the back. He is in stable condition. Police say they found a car nearby, reported stolen out of Rockford. It had been hit by several bullets. Police haven't reported any arrests in either case. If you have any information, call Rockford PD or Crime Stoppers. A Rockford man's arrested after getting caught stealing catalytic converters. Police were called to Master Yates Incorporated on 20th Street around 4:30 this morning. They were tipped off to a burglary in progress. Officers say they found Christopher Gowan at the scene. They also report finding a partially cut catalytic converter and other items in a truck belonging to the 40-year-old. Gowan faces multiple charges, including burglary from a motor vehicle and criminal damage to property. Last Friday, someone hit a motorcyclist on Charles Street near 20th in Rockford. Jesse Briggs is still in the critical care unit.
Nikel Delgado talked with his friends and family. Nikel?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Jesse and his fiance have 5 kids. When the family members didn't hear back from him after work on Friday, they knew that something was wrong.
I'm waiting for him to come home, and he hasn't came home. And then jokingly, she said there was a motorcycle accident down the street from our house.
I actually seen the report on the news. I couldn't tell if it was his bike or not, but I kind of felt like it was him.
Alyssa and Jesse thought it was a regular Friday. Alyssa went to Zumba and Jesse left for work on his bike. They didn't expect it to be one of the worst days of their life. After hearing of a crash, Alyssa ran to the scene at Charles and 20th, and her heart dropped when she saw the bike.
It's like you get that feeling like something's wrong, but you don't know, and then, it just sucks so bad. I wanted to faint.
Jesse is in the ICU. He lost his spleen and a part of his liver. He has a broken leg, internal bleeding, blood clots in his lungs and heart, and he is in a medically induced coma. His family says it's torture seeing him in the hospital.
It's just a really bad accident, but just makes it worse that, the person just left him.
Samantha Colson is a friend of the couple. She started a fundraiser so the family can focus on Jesse's recovery.
That's what she needs to focus on is, being there for Jesse and also being there for the kids because, there's 5 kids that are hurting.
Jesse's family tells me they're grateful for the support and prayers and urge drivers to be more aware of motorcyclists.
At the end of the day, we're all somebody's loved ones, so you have to think about everyone, just not about yourself and just being in a rush, and you got to think just about other people. That's the biggest thing.
If you have any information about the crash, call Rockford Police or use the Tip 411 app. I've also linked the GoFundMe page on this story on mystateline.com. Mimi, Eric?
Thanks, Nikel.
A popular downtown Rockford park will soon be getting an upgrade.
That's because more than $3 million in state funding will help transform Davis Park. The first change coming to the park is a brand new $500,000 boat dock. Work on that should be complete by the end of the summer. Other plans include a new amphitheater, restrooms, splash pad, and skate park. Current plans also include the demolition of the current Founders Landing building. The state says improving Davis Park is a long time coming.
Improving Davis Park was important not only to downtown Rockford, but throughout the region. If we can continue to attract people to downtown, make this a great spot to hang out, it just enriches life and makes this a city a better place to work and live.
The city is set to start work on the park later this summer.
A State Line Cafe closes another location. Mary's Market at Edgebrook is shutting down. A sign's posted next to the door. The cafe posted on Facebook back in January it would reopen in June for music on the mall, but that never happened. In February, Mary's closed in Roscoe. Management says both closures happened due to a lack of staff. There are 2 Mary's Market locations still open in the State Line, one on East State near Alpine and another on McFarland Road near Spring Creek.
The movie A League of Their Own came out 30 years ago, July 1st, and the city of Rockford is celebrating the anniversary. There will be events happening all next weekend. That includes a street fair and interactive baseball games, ballpark snacks, and more. To wrap up the celebration, Amazon Prime Video is screening the new A League of Their Own series at the Coronado. The city will also launch a website in advance of the show coming out.
I think people will want to learn more about Rockford and the Rockford Peaches. So as we get closer to the launch of the series, we will be releasing a new website.
The new Prime series will be shown July 2nd at 8 p.m. You can find a link to tickets and the new website by clicking on this story at mystateline.com.
Asian carp are an invasive fish that damage waterways in Illinois. The state's Department of Natural Resources wants to prevent them from getting to Lake Michigan. They've renamed the fish to make it more attractive to diners. The Asian carp is now called kopi. The fish is being put on restaurant menus, including at the Norwegian in Rockford. Chefs there came up with the pan-fried kopi cakes.
Most taste tests they've done, people have remarked how clean it tastes. It is a fairly neutrally flavored fish, so I put a lot of fresh herbs in there and really tried to get some flavor to come through in an otherwise very healthy but somewhat mild fish.
A special will run this weekend, including a kopi cake.
State Line welcomes its 2 newest creative murals. Rockford Area Convention and Visitors Bureau and City of Loves Park hosted a pop-up party. The murals are both located in the 5000 block of North 2nd Street in Loves Park, just a couple blocks away from each other. The designs spotlighted scenes of local landmarks, each with their own theme. Hometown artists Brett Whitaker and Dustin Eckert painted the murals. Those in attendance also got to enjoy food trucks, drinks, and live music.
Just a showcase of the art, to get the community together. I mean, really, public art is just for everybody, and we just want to throw a party that says, come on down, enjoy some music, enjoy some food, and look at some art.
12 murals are going to be painted before the end of the summer. That will bring the total number of murals up to 36 in the State Line.
Senate bargainers reached agreement Tuesday on a bipartisan gun violence bill, teeing up final passage as early as this week.
The compromise includes money for school safety, mental health, state crisis intervention programs, and incentives for states to include juvenile records in the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. Anna Wernicke shares lawmaker reaction from Washington.
After 9 days of negotiating, we now have the text of this compromise bill, and top negotiators say they're confident they have enough support from Senate Republicans to pass it.
It is a bipartisan compromise. It is a path forward.
Top Senate negotiators say their 80-page bipartisan Safer Communities Act will curb gun violence.
A gun safety bill that can be described with 3 words: common sense, bipartisan, life-saving.
Democrats and Republicans praise the bill.
I think it's a significant step in the right direction.
The bill includes millions of dollars for school safety, mental health, crisis intervention programs, and incentives for states to include juvenile records in the national background check system. And Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the bill protects the Second Amendment.
It does not so much as touch the rights of the overwhelming majority of American gun owners who are law-abiding citizens of sound mind. I hope it won't pass. I mean, I hope it'll fail.
But Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley says he's not convinced.
My big objection is the red flag law. I don't think that we ought to be paying states to develop programs to take away Second Amendment rights from people who have not been charged with a crime, who have not been adjudicated to have committed a crime, let alone convicted of a crime.
Still, the bill has the needed Republican support. 14 Senate Republicans voted to advance the bill Tuesday, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says a final vote will take place by Friday. Schumer says the bill does not include everything that Democrats had hoped for, but called it a good first step and says he will continue to push for more bills on this issue moving forward.
That was Anna Wernicke reporting. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell faced some criticism from the Senate Banking Committee. One senator from Massachusetts told Powell, quote, "Don't drive this economy off a cliff." Powell conceded the Fed's aggressive interest rate hikes will not solve high prices for gasoline or groceries. Both Democrats and Republicans wonder whether rising rates will succeed in curbing inflation or tip the economy into a recession. Powell said the Fed's goal is to get supply and demand back into alignment and get inflation back down to 2% from over 8%.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Savannah Brito.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. The big thing yesterday obviously was the heat. Today, much more comfortable out there. Our dew points are also lower, so it doesn't feel as muggy out there. But we did hit a high all the way up to 100 degrees yesterday, and that was the highest temperature that we've seen in almost a decade. You have to go all the way back to 2012 to find temperatures that were in the hundreds. Also, we are forecasting much cooler weather eventually. The next couple of days still above average, but cooler than what we had out there yesterday. So within a week span, we're going to head all the way down to 82 degrees. That's the forecast high for next Tuesday. Definitely a lot cooler by 15 to 20 degrees than that 100 that we did reach yesterday. Temperatures, though, right now, 87 at the Chicago Rockford International Airport, 84 in Freeport, 85 in Galena, 86 up in Janesville, and 83 is the current temperature in DeKalb. So nowhere near 99 degrees. We were still sitting in the upper 90s in most areas at this time yesterday. Our dew points also came down a significant amount, thanks to a much more drier air mass. 62 is the current dew point in Freeport. Yesterday, still we're in the mid-70s, though, in those areas. 57 in Rockford, 58 in Rochelle, and 59 is the current dew point in Galena. We still do sit under a mostly sunny sky. There are a couple clouds moving in, cumulus clouds, but similar or the difference from yesterday, we did have some storms developing ahead of a cold front. That's not going to be the case today or the next couple of days. We are going to remain under a mostly sunny or mostly clear sky during the day and the overnight hours. The next chance of rain is going to hold off until we're getting into the weekend, probably holding off until Saturday in the early morning hours. But no one's checking in with anything today. We are going to hold under a mostly clear sky overnight, mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Then on Friday, that's a different story. We are going to stay under a partly cloudy sky. That's ahead of the next system. Again, most of the rain's actually going to hold off until early Saturday morning, so anyone that does have any plans for outdoors or at the outdoor hours on Friday night should be good for that. The winds, though, that's a bigger thing today as well. Not quite as gusty as what we were tracking yesterday evening, but they are out of a northwesterly direction, pulling in a little bit cooler air for today. 12 miles per hour in Galena, 9 in Freeport, and we're sitting at 13 miles per hour right now in Rockford. We are checking in with gusts, though, in some places, not as much as yesterday, though. 21 miles per hour, the peak wind gust in DeKalb right now, 20 in Sterling, 18 in Janesville, and then Galena's sitting at 18 miles per hour as well. Tonight, though, temperatures are going to be very comfortable, 61 degrees. It is going to be a mostly clear night. Tomorrow, then, pretty similar to what we had out there today, mostly sunny and a warm day, 89 degrees, but noticeably cooler than what we had out there yesterday. After that, for Friday and Saturday, as we start heading into the weekend, the lower 90s do make a return. That's not going to last that long, thanks to a cold front that will knock our temperatures down for the second half of the weekend. We'll be down to 82 degrees Sunday. That's right near normal, so a lot of people are probably looking forward to the second half of the weekend and even early next week. Temperatures do stay in the lower 80s before the next part of the heat that's going to build back up moves across our area. So, Mimi, Eric, people do have a little bit of a cool down to enjoy.
Now, sports with Reagan Holgate.
Normally in June, our Rockford High School football teams are working out separately, hoping to gain an edge on their rival schools for the upcoming season, but today they all came together. Football players from Auburn East, Guilford and Jefferson attended a camp at Clarence Hicks Memorial Sports Park on Rockford's southwest side. The camp was put on by the Chicago Bears. 3 former Bears players, Kasim Cincino, Brandon McGowan, and Jason McKee, provided some instruction during drills this morning. USA football master trainers also pitched in. The Bears have reached out to Rockford several times this year. Last month, they held a young clinic and a girls' flag football clinic here.
It's just kind of part of the strategy to wrap around the whole Rockford community and really support at all levels.
I appreciate everything these guys are doing out here. The coaching is great. I'm picking up things myself. It's a great thing.
I'm enjoying it a lot. Actually, it's actually a good experience. To work with actual NFL players is good experience.
Get those arms in there. Sit down. Sit down. Good. Keep those shoulders back.
Obviously, a lot of it's physical today. They're running around in the heat, having fun. But every now and then you grab a guy, you talk to him about how school's going, how is life going at home, and you try to reach him on that level.
A representative from the NCAA was also at the camp to inform the players what they need to do to prepare for college. And the Bears presented a $10,000 check that will be split up between the 4 football programs at the Rockford Public High Schools to use however they see fit. This series between the Blue Jays and the White Sox has been guided by 1-run victories from the White Sox. Last night was capped off in 12 innings with a Josh Harrison single to notch the Blue Jays out 7-6. They were looking to make it 3 in a row today. But it was all Blue Jays through most of this one. Bo Bichette in the 4th here hammers one to left field. He kept watching it to see if it would go the distance, and it did. That grand slam put up 4 more on the board for the Blue Jays, increasing their lead to 7. It was Jake Berger in the 8th to get things rolling for the White Sox. He chops this one in the infield. That would be the first of 3 runs scored in the 8th to bring the White Sox within 4. They tried to climb their way back, but too little, too late. The White Sox would drop this one 9-5. Things are just getting started in Pittsburgh for Game 3 of this series between the Cubs and Pirates. Things still remain scoreless, which I'm sure is a small sigh of relief for some Cubs fans. This is their 12th meeting of the season. Pirates lead the series 7-4. The Cubs have lost 9 of their last 11 games, so they definitely love to get something going in this one. The Lightning lived to see another day, and Game 3 in Tampa was just the turning point they needed. Their 6-2 win kept hopes alive of maybe just raising that Stanley Cup for the 3rd straight year. Colorado still leads the series 2-1, but Tampa Bay will have a chance to tie it up tonight on their home ice for Game 4. You can watch it here on WTVO at 7.
We'll get back to Savannah in just a moment with a final look at weather.
But first, here is a look at what Dan Abrams has later on News Nation.
Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. A man convicted for leaving his toddler in a hot car to die gets his conviction reversed. I'll tell you why it may actually be the right decision. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
You can catch News Nation on any of the cable or satellite stations on this list. Online, check out newsnation.com.
We are tracking a much different day overall today. No showers or storms that are developing ahead of a cold front like they were yesterday. The interactive radar on mystateline.com is sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Also, temperatures not even close to as warm as they were yesterday. We hit a high of 90 today, 100 though yesterday. 89 will be the high tomorrow, then we're in the lower 90s Friday and Saturday. Cooler weather though for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Eric, Mimi?
Half the weekend looks perfect.
Yeah, it sure does.
Thanks, Savannah.
And thanks for watching. Have a good evening.
Stay safe.